Well, good evening, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's had a good weekend. You know, I'm going to say that we've just about made it through the NFL winter. I call it the NFL winter, which is the time after Super Bowl until things start to get going. And it looks like things are kind of beginning to get going, because come Tuesday and for the 2 weeks from that day will be the beginning of franchise tagging. And we're beginning to see teams begin to make a few little moves and stuff, and especially with the combine on the 2nd through the 5th. That is a time that a lot of work gets done, because you have all of the owners, the GMs, all the scouting departments, you know, the coaches, all all there at the same time, and deals get made. You hear about a lot of trades that are made for players. They just don't get finalized until March 15th. And we're less than a month away from that. The question will the Dallas Cowboys be players? Now, my man Brian, Game Time Brian, said he heard some rumors, of course, that Saquon could be in the mix for the Cowboys. And at first I was like, oh, come on, man. But in some regards, here's where we're only playing in hypotheticals here, because we actually would have to have an ownership group that would be willing to actually make some moves. The Dallas Cowboys don't seem to be one that make moves in the offseason. But thinking about it, now, at first I was like, that's crazy. But then I started thinking, maybe crazy like a fox. Here's the way you could look at it. If you go by Sports Track, and look at numbers, and the bigger players, they'll have an extra box that you can click on and get a market value, okay? They're saying right now the market value for Saquon Barkley is about $12.5 million. Now, market value may or may not be correct, although I don't know that teams are looking to bust the bank like we did with Zeke Elliott. But hypothetically, which would be better? Now, keep in mind, Barkley made it through this year without injuries. That's not been his career, though. He has been very, very injury prone. But hypothetically, are you better off franchise tagging at $10.8 million Tony Pollard, and then taking, at best case scenario, a $5.5 million cap hit on Zeke? So to keep Tony Pollard and make June 1st a cut for Zeke Elliott, it's going to cost you $16 million. Or you can hold on to Zeke for $16 million and not change anything and let Tony Pollard go. Would you be better off, hypothetically, signing Saquon, if you could, for $12 million a year, and understand that when you're signing a deal, you could backload it some, so you would end up having a lower cap number, right? So let's say the first year is only $5 million. So $5 million, and Zeke Elliott's $5.5 million. You got Barkley for what it would just cost for you to have Tony Pollard. Excuse me. Let me rephrase that. You could get rid of Zeke, have Barkley, okay? Not sign Tony Pollard, but really, it's only costing you $10 million, which is the price of keeping Tony Pollard. Am I making any sense at all? I hope I got the numbers right. You got $5.5 million you have to pay Zeke regardless, or more. You go ahead and just say, June 1st cut, you're gone. You sign Barkley to a contract, you end up kicking some of the money down the road and only spend $5 million. Doable? Crazy? It doesn't sound quite as crazy when you think of Barkley. And the thing I worry about with the Cowboys is the Cowboys love to do deals with guys that are injured. I don't know why, but Michael Gallup, Michael Gallup, I think we've seen the worst of him. He should be better next year. I don't know how much better, but having more time in the extra cleanup surgeries that he had, he should be better next year. I don't think he'll be worse. So that'll help us. I'm not meaning to turn on Zeke Elliott. I love Zeke. Zeke, he's been the heart and soul of the team. But then there's reality where you have to face reality and realize he's not the same guy that he's been. And the amount of money that it is, it's just too much. And I don't want this to be a situation where, and it really feels like deja vu, with Tyrone Crawford. Tyrone Crawford, oh, he's a team captain, man. He's a team leader. He does the dirty work, man. He can play tackle. He can play end. He's one of the good ones. That's us thinking with our heart and not with our head, because that was like $22 million we spent over 2 seasons and hardly got anything out of him. And I'm afraid when I hear, Zeke Elliott, man, he's a great blocking back, man. He'll get you the short yardage. He's a team leader. It feels so much like the Tyrone Crawford situation. And unfortunately, football is not that game that you can be old, especially at running back, and be really, really productive. And if the script is right about the Cowboys, we have to get some more blood in here. We have to figure out how we can get a lot of good talent without having to spend too much money, which are two things that are going in different directions. But I will say, we've been talking about quarterback contracts. The Cowboys always wait to do contracts. But I'm going to say it like I did before. You got to hurry up and get Dak done. You have got to hurry up and get Dak done. We're hearing about Daniel Jones and that those talks are not going well. They're bumpy. You've got Joe Burrow out there, Justin Herbert, and these guys that are going to get paid. You'll probably look and see like Patrick Mahomes going, renegotiating or extension on his contract. You're going to see Aaron Rodgers going someplace else. You're going to see the money out there, quarterbacks explode. And you want to be ahead of the game. You don't want to be behind the game. That's what happened to us before. I said years ago, sign Dak. As soon as Kirk Cousins signed his, sign Dak before Russell Wilson reset the market. And did they listen? No. No, they didn't. And it cost them. Well, we'll see. I got to get up early in the morning. Got a couple of errands I have to do really, really early. So I'm going to go ready to take my hind parts to bed. But I'm back, guys. And we got the new sports desk up and put together. And I tell you, I absolutely, positively love it. Oh, I love it. And hopefully I can get this other thing that I want done for the workshop. If I can get that, oh, Nelly, it's going to be a game changer. Anyway, good people, I appreciate each and every one of you guys for all you guys do to help make the Joe Boo Sports Report what it is. Just remember, like I always say, tell the people you love them. You might not get the chance again. And I love you guys. And God willing, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.